Zhilei Big Bang Zhang. Is he done for? His recent fight against Agit Kayabel, firefight. I forgot. Maybe it was the BWF Bivol undercard, was it? But they went at it, and Zhilei got all banged out. Anyways, but is he done for? Because it's not, it tends to be this whole thing of when a fighter loses, they say, oh, this is the end, this is the end, oh, he's falling off, this is it. But it's different when it's the same problem that you're losing to. It's kind of with that Caleb Plant situation where it's stamina. And I think they're suffering from stamina in two different ways, where with Caleb, he's moving around a lot, but with Zhilei, he's just a big dude, big in size. He's like 300 pounds, I think. So it's just, is he gonna fix that at 300 pounds in weight? Well, like, what are you gonna do? Because your whole thing is your size, right? When you punch dudes, they just drop and die. So are you going to tell him to lose that size that made him the monster he is? Because that doesn't really make sense. But he could gain more stamina, because if you look at that Kayabel fight and just how he got knocked out, it was all shots to the body. And then when he met his end, he just like dropped like a literal giant to one knee. He's tired, he can't breathe. It was honestly like probably one of the coolest knockouts or TKOs I've seen, just because how he goes down, and then how Kayabel, he just got knocked out, or not knocked out, but knocked down, and he comes back and finish him. It was just a cool fight to watch. You should go see it if you haven't. It's always for free because it's Turkey Al Sheikh and that nice oil money. But it was a great fight. He's doing good. It's just the stamina isn't there. And so being like, what, 34, 35, what else can you do? Because now the blueprint is out there. You just have to survive the beast, right? You just have to make it to rounds 8, 9, and 10. Survive the beast, survive the reckoning, and then you got him, right? I guess that's more easier said than done, but is he done for? Because look at the utter talent that he's going to have to face. I mean, Joseph Parker, I don't think he has a title shot. So maybe the Joseph Parker fight, but Joseph just handled Martin Bakole. Yes, Martin Bakole was like just flying into the Saudi Arabia fight, but on a 2 days notice or some shit like that. But I don't, if he goes against Joseph Parker, he just went against a giant. I don't think that all of a sudden he's gonna forget that blueprint he had with Martin Bakole and completely abandon that, right? It's gonna, I want to say it's gonna end up like that Agit Kayabel fight, but maybe he shakes up the division a bit. He improves his technique. He gets guys out there earlier, but I don't see that happening. Yeah, he could try to use more of his energy reserves earlier in the fight, but what if they survive that first half of the 12 rounds? Then what is left? Because that's exactly what happens with every single one of his losses. Eventually he gets to a point that he's not really energetic anymore, and he's just kind of waning out from the rest of the fight. You can say Martin Bakole and Zhilei Zhang fight the two giants, but I think Martin wants to. Well, Martin's coming off like a draw and a loss and a knockout loss, and Zhilei just got knocked out. So maybe this is like the perfect time for these two beasts to come together and fight, since they're the only two 300-pound weight or heavyweights in the division now that Tyson Fury's gone. So that's like a perfect matchup. There's a few other names in the heavyweight division coming up. Moses Atama and Izzy Torres. I think they both get demolished by Zhilei Zhang. They're not ready. They're still prospects in the making. But Daniel Dubois, Usyk, they're fighting. I don't think Anthony Joshua after getting demolished by Daniel Dubois wants to fight a giant heavyweight that's 6'6" and 300 pounds. I don't think he wants to deal with that. We know how that's going to look like. We know what that's going to look like. And then I guess we will be fighting another contender that's not really known in the rankings, but do you really want to move down? Zhilei Zhang is still one of the most exciting fighters in the heavyweight division. So I don't see why, like, what is this? I don't see why they should kind of start moving him down to the lower ranks. I guess to build up his confidence or whatever, but they should just fight Bakole and Zhilei. Now that I think about it, that's the only fight that makes sense for the both of them. Bakole, yeah, he got like a draw, but he's not done for. He didn't look bad in his fight with the Efe Ajagba. Efe was kind of just moving around a lot, and Bakole, being a 300-pound dude, didn't want to chase him around the ring. That didn't make sense. But the fact that he was so stagnant and still was the reason he kind of lost, gave away the fight. It's a loss in his book because he's coming off a knockout loss, being rolled around the ring by Joseph Parker, was it? And I think a Zhilei Zhang fight would be the best comeback, and a Bakole fight would be the best comeback for the both of them. It makes sense for them two to collide at this point of time right now. But otherwise than that, is Zhilei Zhang done for? Zhilei Zhang, Big Bang? I don't think so. I think he's still got a few good fights with him. He's coming up on 40 years old now. But there's still so much more to see from him. I think nobody really looked at that fight and said, oh, we don't want to see him. He'll retire. No. People still want to see him fight. And I think it's right now, Bakole is the fight to be made. Well, we see what Turki Al-Sheikh does with that. He's been putting on a lot of good fights recently. I don't see why not this one. So, Zhilei Zhang, you gotta make a comeback. Don't do a little revenge tour like Don't do a revenge tour like Caleb Plant tried to do. Please don't revert to that. Please don't. But, I don't know. He can make a comeback. He can get a Joseph Parker win. He can knock him out early in the fight. Because that Deontay Wilder fight was exciting. Just the way how he comes back and just knocks him out completely out of the game. It was awesome. Fantastic. But otherwise than that, I don't see any other exciting fight for him. He kind of beat everybody. He's older now. Everyone in the division has already been knocked out or lined up for a big fight. He doesn't get a title shot. That doesn't make sense. But some other top ranked contender, whoever that may be. Anyways, Zhilei, Big Bang Zhang, you need a comeback.